If you think of staying in hotels, the little things from the fragrances of candles, the whiskies behind bars, you know, the little chocolates on your pillow when you get back to your hotel room, and all those tiny little quirky touch points are so important.
This is Grantley, a small village in the foothills of the Scottish Highlands. Not necessarily where you'd expect to find an award-winning specialist supplier to the best chefs and hotels around the world.
People know in Scotland, oh yeah, whiskey, oh shortbread, oh smoked salmon. But little do they know that we also have exactly what you need to be a world-class truffle specialist.
Ian Burnett owns the Highland Chocolatier,
Just a little bit of texture.
a family-run chocolate shop, cafe, and a chocolate kitchen.
We have some of Europe's best dairy, so we're bringing rare cocoa and what is frankly a rare cream, combining that, yes, with fruits, with wonderful heather honey that we use. At the end of the day, it makes people happy, doesn't it? You know, you see people, chocolate, oh, you make chocolate, you know? So if you say, oh, I'm an accountant, it's not quite the same.
Ian's been perfecting his craft for 20 years, winning him international recognition and awards, including Best Chocolate Truffle in the world.
Most of the business-to-business work that I do is with Michelin chefs, five-star hotels. Some of them they'll use for turn down in the rooms, chocolates on the pillow type thing. Could be petit fours in the restaurant after dinner. The specialty is the velvet truffle. Truffle or ganache is where you combine fresh cream or fruit with chocolate. So the velvet truffle is really unusual. It has none of the usual glucose, sorbitol, sugars, additives that the big companies put into their chocolates in order to extend shelf life or give you that squishy texture. But without all of that, you're really reliant on the science, and it takes us 2 to 3 days to make the velvet truffles. It was about 3 years developing the recipe at the beginning, about 140, 150 different variations, not just to the recipe, but also to the method about how to make them. Because if you take the additives out, it gets technically very, very difficult. It takes longer, but without the additives in there, you taste more. Simple as that.
It's early morning on a Tuesday, the crucial day of the week for multi-stage truffle production.
Okay.
Today, Ian needs to complete the second stage for 20,000 velvet truffles if he's to hit his weekly target. Every element of the process is incredibly precise. The temperature and humidity of the kitchen is tightly controlled. Even the warmth of the chef's hands has an effect when working with chocolate.
This is the unenrobed version of the velvet truffle. Firmer than normal. I guess it's pretty cold this morning. So we've got to put on a little bit of cocoa, more or less to stop it sticking together. So there you have the pure ganache velvet truffle.
The next task today, enrobing each truffle through a deliciously named waterfall of chocolate.
Fire away, I think we're all set, yeah. Okay.
Then it's on to the final delicate part of the process. Carefully applying a cocoa butter design to each chocolate, using a silkscreen printed sheet.
So these just allow us to give a little bit of color to the tops of the chocolates, a little bit of decoration. So Callum and Rhiannon, if you want to move on to raspberry strips, yeah?
With Ian's brother Callum looking after the next chocolates, Ian turns his attention to what you'd think was called the cafe.
So this is the chocolate lounge. This is not a cafe. This is where we are trying to share with people the velvet truffle and do tastings. So yes, you can have a tea and a coffee and a lovely hot chocolate, but you'll also get to do a tasting flight. If you have your mouth just slightly open, the flavors and the aromas go through your nose and your mouth, and you just taste a bit more. More and more people are wanting to come for an experience. And honestly, if you ever try chocolate before your breakfast in the morning when your palate is fresh, that is actually the best time. There is no shortage of people who are interested in chocolate. Even during recessions, people are still enjoying that small luxury of chocolate, and they're more discerning, just like they are with coffee.
One small luxury proving more popular than ever is their hot chocolate.
That hot chocolate we're serving in the chocolate lounge is not just hot chocolate, it's actually liquid truffle.
Enjoy that, guys. So this is the marbled thick hot chocolate. It's the combination of both our ganaches, the white and the dark, into one very small, rich cup. Nice and slick. There we go. Perfect. Simple as. Oh, it's definitely the best thing that we serve here. If I'm personally honest, yeah. Yeah, I have about 2-3 of these a day, and oh, they're so good.
It's not just the chocolate barista that loves the hot chocolate. Ian and Callum's mum and stepdad often pop in for a perfect afternoon treat.
I'm not really surprised that Ian has made a success of making chocolates. Ian was always a fusspot. He liked everything to be just so.
You happy with this? That could be better. It requires a steady hand, and some days you have a more steady hand than others.
Things that don't pass the grade, what happens to those?
We have to eat all the misshapes, yeah. So that's a requirement of the job. Anything that doesn't pass the grade, you have to eat it. So that gets distributed amongst the staff and customers as well.
We're lucky enough to get the odd chocolate seconds coming to us. We limit ourselves to 2 a day. Very, very strict. I'm awfully strict with my husband.
Nice job so far. All shiny.
Oh, very nice and shiny.
Oh, they're looking great. It feels good that you're making something not just that, yes, it tastes nice, but actually is as good as you can make. Because when you're serving Michelin chefs, you can't give them 99 wonderful chocolates and one that's kind of so-so. Consistency is the tricky part. Okay, last tray. There you go.
Thank you very much.
Chocolatiers are a very, very special breed. It's a different type of chef, almost like a science, rather than actually being a cook. They're trying to make the best in the world ever. And hospitality needs those people, those perfectionists. Bringing them in enhances your environment, your space, what you're creating, the individual little bits that come together to create the much bigger picture.